sisters with me.
All right, whoa.
What?
No, dude, the song is the problem. The song is, I mean, it's a terrible song.
Okay.
Look, I mean, this is absolutely, we had a conversation about this. We talked about it.
Okay.
Twice.
I don't remember.
Look, the song sucked then, it sucks now. It's just gonna keep sucking.
Well, there's no need to get hysterical.
God bless it.
All right, well. All right, moving on. Oh my God, I've been looking forward to talking about the Birdcage for a while. And it's one of my favorite Robin Williams movies. For good reason.
Are we doing the Birdcage?
Yeah.
Shit.
What did you think we were doing?
I watched Commando instead. You said 80s, and I was like, yeah.
Why do you think I picked that song?
I don't know.
We, before we started recording, we had talked about that, how this song
It's terrible.
It's just bad.
It's horrible.
I understand probably at the time when it came out, it was very uplifting.
It wasn't.
And it was a, pro woman, like, let's stick together. Let's,
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, there's murmurs.
There wasn't.
There were whispers. Listen, I'm trying to justify why the song exists.
Because someone was high and wrote it.
How are you? How? I can't even get it out. I can't. How high are you? Hi, how are you?
Oh God.
Now, we're not gonna talk about the beginning of the movie because we don't go in order. But the one thing that I did want to mention is this movie has I don't know if you would call it cliche. A lot of movie intros, especially in the 90s, had this overhead shot across the water heading towards like the city. I think Family Matters had the same exact.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a thing, man.
Yeah, it was overdone. IMO.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah. So this movie was no exception.
Thank you, Lost Boys, for bringing it all together for us. Kind of have a feeling that's where it started.
Well, you know that I have a love for this movie. I don't know because you surprise me sometimes during episodes where I find out while we're recording that you hate a movie. Now,
yes.
Is that the case with this one?
No.
Okay.
No. This one here, I mean, it came out in 1996, which puts it at 29 years. The movie's only 29 years old.
Yes, only.
But no, with this one here, it just never, like I saw it in 96, but then beyond that, it's like I never saw it again. And I think the reason I never saw it again was because of the fact that it just wasn't like readily available. Now, back in the 90s, I mean, there were no streaming services.
No.
I mean, your streaming services was if you recorded it on TV and you owned the VHS or something along those lines. Quite possibly a little bit later in the 90s, you owned a DVD. So,
if you were rich.
Yeah. That's a given.
That's a given.
But no, when it came to the Birdcage, this is not a movie that just popped up on Netflix or Hulu or anything. Like, it was just never available. So it's like, and I think then, like everything else, over the sands of time, it just got lost.
Yeah. Well, it's back, baby.
You better believe it.
Better
back
than
with a
ever.
vengeance.
And I'm excited to talk about it. I'll tell you what.
We're here. We're queer. Get used to it. Just pretty much the mantra of this movie.
Exactly. Now, what is one of your favorite scenes from this movie?
Honestly, the one scene that, I mean, I last night when I was watching it, I was almost in tears because I was laughing so hard. But it's, you have Armand, who's played by Robin Williams. You have Albert, who's played by Nathan Lane. And the one thing that I can respect very much about Nathan Lane is that in real life, he is homosexual. He's gay. He's married to a man. They've been married since 2015, which congratulations for them, coming up on their 10-year wedding anniversary. It's awesome. but Robin Williams is trying to teach Nathan Lane how to be a man. But I've seen Nathan Lane in other parts where he plays a straight man.
Yeah.
And he does a phenomenal job at doing it. So that is a damn good actor. But when he's trying to teach him how to be a man, and they're sitting at the table, like in the outside restaurant or whatever, and he's trying to teach him how to spread mustard. He's like, no, you got to hold your knife like this. He's like, just spread it. And then, but he has the spoon and the mustard, and he's like, no, you don't use the spoon. You don't dab. And then he picks up the water, and he's like, put your pinky down. Like, come on.
Men smear.
Men smear. And then he's like, oh, I pierced the toast. And he was like, who cares? It's like, it's fucking toast.
The point is not to fall apart over it.
Yeah. And then he was like, all right, because I could just get another piece of toast. And he was like, exactly. And he was like, come on, let's work on the walk. But then when he was like, I'm going to give you an image. It's cliche, but it's an image. John Wayne, he was like, oh, couldn't we start with someone easier? And he's like, oh, what are you talking about? You love the man. And he's like, yeah.
He's got a very distinctive walk.
Yeah. But then Nathan Lane does the walk, and he was like, no good? And he was like, actually, that was perfect. I just never realized John Wayne walked like that.
Before Armand gives him the John Wayne thing, he just tries a walk. And he walks by a woman that's sitting at this, because they're at this little cafe, restaurant, whatever you want to call it. And she just looks over at him all judgy.
Yeah.
It's like old blue hair woman, whatever. And Nathan Lane comes back and he's like, what? Too swishy? But the scene following that, where they're continuing the training, which they only have 5 hours to do so.
Right.
And he's trying to get him to like shake his hand. Armand's trying to get Albert to shake his hand, but when Albert holds his hand out, he holds it palm down. He's like, "No, you hold your hand sideways, not palm down. I'm not gonna kiss it. I'm gonna shake it." He's like, "Straighten your arm." He's like, "No, straighten your hand and then tighten."
Yeah. Straighten your hand. Tighten your wrist. Yeah, that's how you do it. Oh, Albert, you old son of a bitch.
He's like, "But I just said that." He's like, "Well, now I'm saying it."
But I do, and see, like, there's a very unappreciated line right there. Because right when he does that, he was like, oh, Albert, you old son of a bitch. And he was like, but I said that. And he's like, yeah, now I'm saying it. And he's like, oh. Like, he just doesn't understand it.
He's like, how about those dolphins? He's like, third and fourth.
Yeah, fourth and 10, and you're going to try and run it? I mean, come on. And then it just all falls apart in the last 30 seconds. He was like, come on, how'd that make you feel? He's like,
well, how do you think it made me feel? Distraught? Disappointed?
Betrayed? Bewildered?
He's like, wrong answer?
Actually, I don't know.
I don't know.
Because it could be right, but it could be wrong.
And I love that because, Armand, he struggles with his own, he kind of straddles the fence when it comes to his masculinity or lack thereof. Because, sometimes he's more masculine, sometimes he's more feminine. And, his son, Val, he's aware of this. He's not ashamed of it, but the fact that Val is getting ready to be married and his fiance's dad, and he's a famous senator. And
very conservative senator.
Very conservative and everything. So the whole premise of this movie is her parents are coming to meet his parents. Right. And Val is not necessarily, he's not ashamed of them, but he feels like it's not going to go over very well. And maybe they're not going to give him their blessing to wed their daughter.
Right.
If he understands, like, what's going on with Val's family.
Just the fact that he has two dads. I mean, back in the 90s, that just kind of wasn't done. Mm-hmm. I mean, even still, it's like people were like, what are you talking about? It was the 90s. But still, that just kind of wasn't done. Yeah. At all. So I think that this movie did a phenomenal job at that, because there were times where it's like, at least in my perception of the entire movie, I really thought that possibly at one point, Robin Williams' character, Armand, was a straight man. But then it wasn't. Because there is the one scene where he was like, how'd you even get up to my apartment, when he's talking to Val's mom after 20 years. And he was like, how'd you even get to my apartment? She was like, I paid your chore man $20. She was like, $20 in those days?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, it was a lot of money. I mean, because that would have been 76. I mean, $20, that's probably went a long way.
Oh, yeah. How much could you get from Radio Shack back then?
But then, but he was talking about that, and he was like, I just figured, wow, there's a woman in my bed. He was like, what the hell? We'll do it with a woman.
Let's see what all these straight men have been talking about. He's like, and how long did we last? I can tell you exactly.
I can tell you exactly, from 2:30 a.m. to 3:45 a.m.
Twice.
2 times.
Yeah. But Christine Baranski, right? Is it Christine or Christina? I can never get that right.
I think it's Christine.
Yeah, but
she is so gorgeous.
Yep. There's just some appeal to her. It's her and
heart's fluttering.
She's got that kind of personality where it's like the American version of British, I guess.
Yes,
because she comes across just so prim and proper.
Yes. And honestly, every time I see her, it doesn't matter what movie I ever see her in. Mm-hmm. I always
you picture her as who? As what's her name?
Well, no
From
matter
The Grinch?
Yeah, but no matter what she says, it'd just be like, Martha, hi. That's always what I hear her saying. That's I don't know,
for a good reason.
Yeah,
Excuse me. For a good reason.
That's a given.
She just does something to you. She does something to me.
Yeah. Oh, man. God bless it.
And gentlemen, we have arrived.
Yep. I'm going to have to sit down after this one.
Get the mop.
Sploosh.
All right. I'm trying to think of... So that is definitely one of my favorite scenes is when they're trying to go through the training of Nathan.
Yes.
The beginning of the movie where, it opens up in the drag club.
Right.
And Albert's character, Starina, that he portrays at the drag club, he refuses to go on because he's going through some kind of a midlife crisis or whatever. And Agador, played by Hank Azaria, he comes down and he's talking to, I don't know if he's a DJ or... He's the guy that announces all the
he's the DJ because he's doing the music, he's making the announcements and everything, so he's the DJ of the club.
I feel like he's kind of helping coordinate everything too, so I feel like he wears many hats. But anyway, so he finds out like, where's Starina? Like she's supposed to be here in like 5 minutes or whatever because this number that they're doing to We Are Family is about to end. And
longest version ever.
Yeah. And not to go back on another tirade, but the reason I don't like that song is because it's just so repetitive. It's just repeats and repeats and shut the fuck up. It's like, for Pete's sake.
We got it the first time.
I understand. Your family. Okay. Can we move on? But Armand is telling Agador to go up. He's like, get her dressed, get her ready or whatever. And he goes up there and you see Albert hiding under blankets.
Yes.
On the couch in the change room or whatever. And he's like, I can't go out there. He's like, I'm hideous. Like, I just can't. He's like, come on. I was like, we got to get your stockings on at least. Yeah. or whatever. He's like, Victoria Page shall not dance the dance with the red shoes or whatever.
It's like, Victoria Page is dead.
He's like, oh, okay.
But I do like that he was like, come on, I give you a Pirin right now, and then you can have another peer-in as soon as you're done. He's like, oh, that sounds good. But when they go out of
give you one now and another one at the end of the show, but no more, okay?
Yeah. But I love it because when they go out and Armand's like, Jesus, he's like, what are you doing? You giving him drugs? He's like, what's a peer-in? And he was like, oh, it's an aspirin, but I just scrape off the A and the S.
Oh, my God, you're a genius.
He's like, I know.
How is that not obvious?
I know.
It's a placebo, basically.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what he says when like Albert's talking to Armand after he finally breaks into the fitting room, and he says something like, he's like, this is how you feel because you're a man, and I can't because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what the thought was there.
I don't remember either.
It escapes me. But that whole moment where Armand is trying to break into the fitting room is like Albert shuts the door, locks it, and he drags this gigantic chair in front of it.
Yeah.
And Agador's like, he's trying to let Armand in because the show must go on. And Armand is like beating on the door in his own way.
I like how you hear him on the other side, and he was like, God damn it, open the door. And then you hear Agador on the other side. He's like, I'm trying. Like pushing.
Yeah, Armand is like, abre la puerta. And Agador is like, he's like, I'm trying, but he's so crazy.
But I do like that when he was talking about he was like, I know you're seeing someone else. He's like, there's another man, and he was like, no, there's no. He was like, what do you do when I'm on stage? And he was like, I just lay right here. And honestly, tell you the truth, I mean, he did such a good job at selling that one fact of like the defeated man, where it's like, oh God. It's
like, here we go again.
What do you do the whole day? I'm at work. You'd be like, I just lay right here. I wait for you to come back. That's all I do. That's all I ever do.
It's every day.
Because I have nothing else going on in life right now that is more important than you.
Same thing.
And you come across as a condescending prick, but at the same time, you're just like, for the love of God, I need you to do this one thing right now.
He's like, that's all I am to you. Your meal ticket.
But I do like that he's talking, and he was like, oh, it's like, there's white wine chilling in the refrigerator. I only drink red.
You only drink red.
And so do you. And he's like,
well, I switched because red wine has tannins.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, the tannins.
But I like when Albert, he gets behind he's like got that changing curtain in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't look at me. I'm hideous.
Oh, you're shaving your chest now? I didn't have time to wax.
But I do, he comes to the realization that he has to perform. He's like, people came to see Starina, and Starina they shall have.
Half the people down there are Kennedys.
Oh, yeah, the Kennedy part. Yeah. Armand is talking to one of the waiters, and he said, the Kennedys are here. It's like the third time this week. And he's like, is it Ted? He's like, no, it's the young ones. He's like, oh, I wish it was Ted. He's like, shall we, comp their meal or whatever? He's
Give
like,
free coffee.
But the face that the waiter makes, I'm like, I don't understand what that face is supposed to mean.
Yeah, who knows?
Because it's like, okay, is that like a slap in the face to the Kennedys or? But I like how Armand walks behind the table and he's like, save room for coffee. Like, do you really need to save room for coffee? I mean, it's like Jell-O. There's always room. Come on. No, but...
the coffee will fill in all the cracks where my food is.
It will find room. But Albert's little skit, whatever the hell you want to call it, and when he walks out on stage with the stairs and everything, and he's wearing this like black outfit, almost like he's dressed for a funeral, but it's got all this like leopard print trim. Yeah. And he starts his whole spiel with like, look at this, ladies and gentlemen, I just came back from safari, and look, I got a new muff. And he's like, look, it comes with accessories. And like he like flips like a tail out of this leopard print muff.
Yeah.
He gets a big laugh and everything. He's like, no, don't look at me like that. He's like, I didn't kill him. He died and left me everything. It's actually pretty good. So it's like, even though he's going through whatever he's going through, he's still able to compose himself and put on a show for the crowd. So I will give him that. Granted, it was in the script, but still.
That, and then I mean, everyone's dynamic through the entire movie is just so. Everybody does a phenomenal job in this. I mean, you have Val, who plays the son, and he's getting married. He's sitting here like, like they're coming over for dinner tonight. They're going to meet you. We need to basically take everything out of the apartment that's over the top. Because he wants to look at, like, this is the love of his life. He wants to marry this girl. He wants to give her everything in the entire world. But then all of a sudden it's like, but your dad's like very conservative. He's a senator. He can't get caught up in this scandal of like, oh, well, hey, Senator Keeley's daughter is going to be marrying this guy who has 2 dads, never met his mom. And, what kind of story is this?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, Val's fiance, Barbara, is like, she knows the situation, and she's perfectly okay with it. Like, she has no qualms with it whatsoever. Right. But they've had to fabricate this whole story, including a change of their last name, just so it doesn't sound Jewish for some reason.
Yeah.
Which, that piece I didn't really understand. Like, what does that matter?
Yeah, I didn't understand it either, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't remember really back in the 90s if Jews were just like heavily frowned upon.
I don't think so, because
they
were very prominent in the entertainment industry, very similar to what it is now.
Yeah.
And I think there was a huge Jewish population down in Miami, especially at that time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really changed. I know there's a bunch in Boca Raton too, I think. I'm pretty sure. But I do like that joke that Armand made before dinner started.
Yeah.
Or was it during dinner? I can't remember. But he says, he's like, the old saying, where there's sand.
Yeah.
He's making reference to like there being a bunch of Jewish people down there.
Yeah.
Because Barbara had told her parents.
He's like, oh no, when they bought their place here, it was just
mostly sand.
Yeah, it was mostly sand. Because there's just, like guys and girls going around in bikini thongs everywhere. And then he was like, and then when she asked, she was like, oh, well, when did you buy your place? He's like, oh, about 15 years ago. But the neighborhood was primarily Jewish then. And she was like, oh, well, Barbara said it was all sand. And he's like, yeah. Well, you know what they say. Where there's sand. Then Agador comes in. Now, Hank Azaria playing Agador Spartacus is possibly one of the funniest things ever. Because the whole thing of like, him not wearing shoes. And I know that was a trivia question one time that you had for me. You were like, I do not wear shoes because they make me fall down.
Yeah.
And then, you see him wearing the shoes, but they are like 3 sizes way too big.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, like if he wears a 8.5 or a 9, like he has like a 12 or a 13. And it looks ridiculous.
The fact that he's not even wearing socks with them probably doesn't help his cause. He's going to get blisters.
Right.
Oh, but then again, the heels don't even touch. So
so you have nothing to worry about.
But yeah, I got to say, because Nathan Lane's character, like, he's very obnoxious throughout the movie. There are moments where he tones it down a little bit when there's more of a serious conversation going on, but it's a little over the top. But whereas Hank Azaria, his is just funny as hell.
Yeah,
because he's playing like a Guatemalan guy, and there's a moment where I think it's when Albert goes on stage and Armand goes into their apartment or house, whatever the hell you want to call it, because it's right above the studio, the club.
Yes.
And Agador. I'm trying to get all these names right without screwing it up, so bear with me. Agador, he's in the kitchen with a red wig on and like some kind of a bra looking thing.
Right.
And he's like dancing I want to say Miami Sound Machine or something, and I can't
I
remember.
believe so.
And Armand is like, what are you doing? He's like, turns off the music or whatever. He's like, hello, like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, you like it?
Yeah.
And he's like, you look like Lucille Ball.
It's like, I'm a cross between Lucille Ball and Ricky Ricardo.
He's like, a cross between Lucy and Ricky. He's like you got to stop, or I'm going to tell Albert that you're wearing his wig. He's like, you tell him that. I'll tell him that you're seeing somebody else when he's on stage. It's like, damn it, you got me.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was the one thing that I really kind of didn't understand about the entire movie. And I mean, you know, because there is the scene where, you know, Val shows up and it's a younger guy, and Robin Williams, like Armand, when he sees him, he's like almost like, oh, wow. And they give each other a hug. They kiss each other on the cheek. It looks very feminine. And he's like, well, I have something to tell you. He's like, I'm getting married. And they have the white wine. But it's funny because, like, when he was like, oh, you want something to drink? And he was like, well, beer if you have it. And he was like, oh, no, beer. He's like, I don't have it. He's like, God, talk about bloat. He's like, but I got the white wine.
Yeah, because Val, prior to that, he said, you look good. And
yeah.
he's like, you really think I look good? He's like, yeah. He's like, I feel bloated.
but when they're talking about it, I mean, so you think that this is a guy that he's having an affair with, but it just turns out to be his son. So you're just kind of like, you're like, you had a left field with that one there, partner. Like, wow, that's crazy. Good. But then when he starts talking, it's kind of a dick move by Val, because I didn't really notice it until I watched it the second time last night, is when he was like, yeah, he was like, it's just me and you. Because he was like, when did Albert go on stage? And he was like, a few minutes ago. So he's not here per your request. Yeah. And it's like, what a dick move. Like, come on. I understand that, you know, Armand is your dad and everything, but, you know, Albert's been a part of your life for 20 years also.
Yeah. I don't know what his mentality was behind that, because he knows he's going to find out about it eventually.
Yeah, because he was just there to tell him, like, hey, Dad, I'm getting married to a woman. Yeah. So, and I didn't understand why he had to stress that. Because, I mean, you would think that, you know, after 20 years, like, Albert and Armand would know he's not gay. Mm-hmm. So he's just like, I'm getting married to a girl. And it's like, like, they're so defeated.
He's like, why are you going to throw your life away like this? And he does this whole charade like he's upset about it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, why don't you just pack your bag, get out of here or whatever.
Yeah, and he's okay, well, I'll see you later. He's like, oh, you little fisher.
He's like, you called my bluff.
You called my bluff.
He's like, I try to reel it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But
well, the thing,
no, you did a good job.
Yeah. The thing I didn't understand when he was like, I need you to tell me it's okay. What do you need to know is okay? Mm-hmm. This is what I mean, like, that whole dynamic I didn't understand.
What the one line that I liked is when Val is telling him about this, and he's like, you're upset. He was in the middle of taking a drink of his wine, and his response is, but let me tell you why. I don't know what it is about that line, but it's like, it's so good.
Yeah.
It feels appropriate, even though the response is weird and it sounds out of context, even though it's really not.
Right.
But the introduction to the senator is good. You know, he's played by Gene Hackman, and Gene, he does such a great job in this role.
He does.
He finds out that this other senator, I guess, that he's affiliated with,
Senator Jackson,
some way, shape, or
form. They were co-founders of the Coalition of Moral Integrity or something like that.
Right.
And he was found dead at a prostitute's place.
I think it was in a hotel with an underage black prostitute.
Yes. So basically the moral code that they tried to establish.
He went completely the
It's
opposite
way
direction.
Off, yeah, it's off the grid, man.
So the way that he finds out about it, and then the way that they're reporting about it is like they get an interview with this girl like really quick.
Yeah.
And
it's like, how'd they find her so fast? Because they pay.
Yeah. So it shows a little clip of this quote unquote prostitute, and she's like, yeah, he seemed to look funny, but he was smiling, so I didn't worry. Because I guess he died immediately after, whatever.
Probably during.
But yeah, that's possible. But he said something about the money's on the dresser, chocolate. Yeah. So he's like making these ridiculously like racist remarks. Oh my god! But so he's got this crap going on.
Yes.
While Val is trying to bring them to Miami to introduce him to his quote unquote parents.
But then when he says, the mom, I can't remember her name, but she's talking to Barbara, and she's like, oh, yeah, your father won't be back until late, but then you see him coming in through the window, and it looks like Barbara's about to tell her mom, like, Mom, there's something you need to know about his parents. Like, they're both guys, just so you know this going into it.
Yeah.
But, the senator gets back and he's climbing through the window, and she was like, what are you doing? And he was like, there are reporters all out front. He's like, I didn't want to get caught up by them. He's like, so I came in the back way through the orchard.
He's like, I came through the orchard over the top of the barn. She's like, oh my God, that's so dangerous. You could have fallen. He's like, I did. Totally underappreciated line, I think.
Yes, a very underappreciated line.
So there's that scene, and then he's clearly going through something, and his character, he's got a vice. He loves candy.
Yes.
So when he's upset, he wants his candy. Like, that's just to calm him down or whatever. But he likes specific kinds of candy, like chocolate.
Yeah.
And he's asking their mate, he's like, I need more candy. Like, bring me more candy or whatever.
She's like, what about this candy right here?
She's got this bowl of, like, it looks like lemon candies, like these little, like, hard candies or something. And she's like, oh, what about one of these? And he looks at it and grabs one. He's like, oh, this. Like, he's so disappointed about it.
Yeah, I mean, because the man is dying for Reese's. Like, this
any kind
gotta
of
be what he wants.
No, I peg him for a Russell Stover's kind of guy.
I could see that. I could see that.
But so he's going through this crap, and the reporters are just like all up his ass. And there's like a ton of them on his property, which, I don't know how they're not getting arrested for trespassing.
They should have been.
They should have been. Yes. But as he's trying to leave, he comes out the window again to go down the ladder, and they're on his property, and they start questioning him.
Yeah.
Like,
Senator
about what's going
Keeley,
on.
how do you feel about Senator? He's like, this is a very unfortunate event that's occurred, but we rest assured we stand by our dedication to this, and we're planning on leaving town for a few days. We're planning an event. This whole thing about
which I feel will definitely make up for the situation and how it's made everybody feel.
Yeah. But I like that he's just kind of on the ladder, and he does like the Richard Nixon like peace, like V for victory thing, and he's like and he just keeps doing it as he's climbing back in the window.
I want to know where he found their limo driver, because the man can be bought. And he gets bought multiple times.
Yes, by multiple different organizations and companies.
The guy from the National Enquirer, he pays him money to find out where the family is leaving.
Yeah.
And then once they're in Miami, I think the same guy pays him again to find out something else.
Where they went.
Yeah.
Which building did they go into? But then another news company shows up, and they're like, where did he go? And he was like, I don't know. And she was like, so 300? And he was like, yes. And he was like, yeah, that building right over there. But I do like at the end, because, I think another funny scene is when they're getting ready to leave, and, Gene Hackman finds out that, leading up to this, they have the dinner party. Val's mom hasn't shown up yet because she's stuck in traffic. Well, Albert is upset because, you know, they don't want him to be gay. He can't pass as a straight man, but he just wants to be a part of this. So he's in the bathroom the whole time, just like you hear him every once in a while, like you'll hear something break and he's like, ah, ah. And then they're like,
is there somebody else home?
Oh no, that's just our dog Piranha. we lock her up when we have guests.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you can only assume that, I guess, you know, circumstances allowing, is that he was changing into female's clothes and then comes around through the front door and he was like, I'm here, everybody. Don't worry. I'm sorry I'm late.
Stuck in traffic.
Yeah. And everybody is just looking except for Senator Keeley and his wife. They're like, oh, yeah, look at her. Like, we're so glad you made it. But everyone else is like, what?
This look of horror.
In the actual ass is going on right now.
Because he's very obviously a man.
Correct.
In women's clothing.
Yeah. But then they go through the dinner and everything, and they find out that, you know, they lied and everything. And the mom is just hysterical and crying. And then Senator Keeley is like, come on, Barbara, we have to leave. And she was like, no, I'm going to stay. And he was like, oh, no, please. He was like, come on, look, I've made your mother cry. He's like, look, I understand that you want to do this and you want to get married, but how many lives do you have to ruin? It's such a dick line. But they're going to leave, and he opens up the door, and that's when the National Enquirer guy is there, and he's like, Senator Keeley, and he just shuts the door really quick, and he's like, did you get the picture? And he was like, no, I would have if you hadn't have been like, Senator Keeley. And he was like, I wanted him to turn.
Freaking idiot.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, they're looking out the window and they're like, oh, another news van just showed up. And Nathan Lane, Albert's line is so hysterical because he was like, Eagle. He's like, it's the Eagle. And he was like, oh, never mind. That's just print news. Obviously, they have no validity whatsoever.
Right.
And then he was like, another news van showed up. Oh, and they're going into the club. And he's like, of all the nights I'm not performing. But then they're like, well, can't they just sneak out with the crowd at the very end of the show? And he was like, no, they'd spot him in a heartbeat. So then, you know, Albert has the idea. He's like, well, maybe not.
He's like, not necessarily.
Yeah. So they put everyone in drag. And I do like Gene Hackman's line in it when Senator Keeley, like, he's dancing off the stage and everything, and they're going through the crowd. And he bumps into Barbara, and he was like, all right, no one's dancing with me. He was like, it's because I told him not to put me in white. It makes me look fat. like that's his whole thing.
And it's funny because he goes from complete obliviousness. Like he doesn't understand the situation, or at least he's claiming not to understand the situation as it's been explained to him multiple times.
Yeah.
But once he gets put into women's attire with a wig on and everything, he's like, he's completely accepted. This is his life now.
Yep.
And he's personifying a woman now.
I do like what's great is when the mom, like, you know, Val's real mom shows up and she was like, no, I'm Val's mother and Mrs. Goldman or whatever. And then they're like, okay, like, hold everything. And then they're asking Val, like, how many moms do you actually have? And then Val finally is like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Like, tired of
I can't do this
it's just
anymore.
Gotta be like, look, I'm tired of lying. This is ridiculous. So he just pulls the wig off of Albert and he was like, this is my mom. And he was like, this is the mom that I know. And, you know, then he introduces himself and he was like, it's nice to meet you. Like, and I mean, kind of a dick thing, but at the same time, it's genuine.
And Senator Keeley, the whole time, he's like, I don't understand.
Yeah. And she was like, he's a man.
They're two men.
They're two men. But I do like Senator Keeley because he was like, there's no way you're Jewish.
Yes.
he just brushes off the fact that it's two men. He was like, no, our name's Goldman. I'm Jewish. And he's like, there's no way you're Jewish.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Despite everything else that's going on here.
Hold everything. Wait one tick.
Hold the fart.
There's no way you're a Jew.
Everything that led up to the dinner was Val's attempt to cover up the fact that he has basically two dads, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So when he's explaining the situation to his father, and he's telling him, he's like, we gotta get rid of everything in here, basically. Like,
that's over the top.
Initially, he just looks at a couple things that's in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah.
So there's a
he's
statue.
Like, what in here? What's over the top? And he's like, well, that, for instance, he's like,
That's
Neptune?
He's like, that's a classic.
Yeah. He's like, well, what about this? And he was like, the Bitsy? He's like, that's art.
Yeah, and it's like a man with a shaved head wearing a dress with like a flower in the bosom or something.
Yeah.
But then initially he's like he turns a statue around with a big dick. It's almost like a virility statue or something.
Something like that, yeah.
So he flips it around, but it's still got an ass.
Yeah,
so,
he's like, better?
And then there's another statue up on the shelves behind him. He turns that one around. And then,
which I had never noticed until you pointed it out about this next
chain,
one.
Yeah, and then
his necklace.
And he looks down at his chain because he's wearing gold chains, and one of the charms on his chain is an erect penis. So he tucks his chain into his tank top in his shirt, and he's like, "Is that better?" And he's like, "Dad, it's not just one or two things. It's everything."
Yes.
And then he's like, and then he's like, you're obvious, like the mannerisms and everything. He stopped gesturing, things like that. And at one point, Val rubs his finger across his dad's face, and then he wipes it on the wall, and there's makeup.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just had the walls sponge painted. Because there's this line of makeup. He's like, yeah, so I wear foundation. But, and it's funny because, in my opinion, Armand is not as obvious. Yes, he does gesture on occasion. He doesn't speak super feminine. Yes. But Val, he's, I think, overanalyzing the situation.
Yes.
He's assuming
because he grew up with it.
Yeah.
So.
But I think right now, he's viewing everything through a magnifying glass. And he's trying to think of how the senator and his family is going to perceive everything that's going on in here. So they have a very, very short period of time to get the apartment, whatever you want to call it, looking more, I guess.
They have to get rid of everything that's over the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then.
So a bunch of people that are part of the club, part of the show, are helping out.
Yeah.
Taking stuff, and then
who put Playboys in the bathroom?
He's like, leave them there. That's what they read.
Don't add, just subtract.
And then one of the other ones, they have this gigantic moose head.
He's like, what is that? And he's like, it's a moose head. We got it from the antique store across.
He's like,
what?
He's like,
too butch.
He's like, don't add. And then he just has to walk away. And then I guess they all have to leave because they find out that
that's when
Nathan and Albert and Armand are coming
Albert
back.
and Armand are at the beach. Like they start off at the beach, and he was like, you look tired. Maybe you should take a few days off, take a trip.
He's like, what do you mean?
He's like, you just look tired.
It's like, I know what that means. It
means I look
you look
old.
tired means I look old. You look young means you've had Botox.
Yeah. And he was like, and if you look rested, you've had collagen.
That's it, yeah.
But then when they go upstairs, and he was like, or he's trying to go upstairs, and he was like, come on, I'll take you shopping. I'll buy you anything you want. And he was like, oh, well, I need to go change my shoes. And he was like, no, you don't. I'll buy you some. He's like, I don't have peds. I'll buy you sandals. What's going on with you?
Why don't you want us to go home?
Yeah, and he's like,
He's like, what? What happened?
I hurt my thing.
What?
My ankle.
I love that so much. I hurt my thing. So eventually, Val has to come clean.
Yes.
And explain what's going on because eventually they did get home, and
yes,
Albert's response is,
yeah,
screaming, "We've been robbed!"
But then Val comes out and he's like, "No," he's like, "We just had to minimize a few things." He's like, "But don't worry,
it'll all be back.
It'll all be back in its original place by the time you get back."
It's like, back?
Where
am I going?
You didn't tell him, did you?
Yes. Val's fiance is coming here with her parents for dinner, and we thought it would be best if you weren't here.
Oh, I see. So I guess I'll just go. You don't have to worry about me, The freak.
It's like the monster.
The monster. I mean, but it's just so over the top, dramatic.
Like I understand. I'll be gone. And then he gets Agador. He's like,
no, it's not that scene yet.
No, not
yeah. But later on, when they have to go to his mom, they go to Val's mom because they're like, it would really help if we had a woman. He's like, well, you could probably get your mom to do it. And he's like, what do you think? It's been 20 years. It's like, well, we don't know. So they talked to her, and she was like, yeah, of course I'll come and do it. So what's great is, they start reminiscing about how they met and everything and what they were doing and all that. And then he's sitting on the couch, which it kind of looks like they've been through an entire bottle of champagne. And she's sitting on the couch, like on the armrest. She's looking down. She's like, oh my God, where did all this hair come from? He's like, what? I shaved it for the show. I thought I just wanted to look younger.
He's like, yeah, you never had this when we were together or whatever.
And
yeah, that's.
And then she's like, oh, I like it. And she was like, no, unbutton
it's
more.
Like so much better with the hair, so much more masculine.
But then that's when Albert barges in, and he's like, oh, I see. And then storms out, goes down to the car. He leans over and accidentally hits the horn. He's just like, ah! And starts the car, and it starts going. He's like, ah! It's like he's never driven a car before.
There's so many things that happen during the movie where he overreacts to it. Just like when he pierces the toast.
Oh, yeah. But when Armand gets home after that, and he was like, is Albert here? And, Agador's like, no. And he's like, great. He's driving back from Miami at 20 miles an hour with the parking brake on. I had to take the fucking bus. But then Val comes out, and he was like, yeah, your mom will do it. And, Val's like, oh, thanks. And they give each other a hug. And then Albert's like, wasn't that nice? So great. I'm so glad that you can have this. And he's like, Val, I really would have loved to have seen your children. It's like, Agador, will you get my toothbrush? It's in the usual place.
So isn't that's the same scene where Armand says, Val, do me a favor, just don't talk to me for a while.
No, that's when they made the decision to declutter the house with everything.
Oh, yeah.
He comes home that night, and he was like, Agador? He's like, we need to redo the apartment, get rid of everything that's over the top. And then Val comes out, and he is like, Pop, thank you. And he's like, do me a favor, Val. Just don't talk to me for a while.
But it's funny. Albert's getting ready to leave, and he just wants his toothbrush.
And he was like, where are you going? He's like, Los Capo. And he's like, flings his toothbrush over.
He's like, the only thing in Los Capo is a cemetery. He's like,
exactly.
Why do you think I'm
packing light? But I do like when he gives Agador a hug, and he's like, I leave you my stereo. And he's like, no.
Like, I leave you this. I don't want it.
He's like, in my wigs. Wait, which ones?
Which wigs?
Which wigs?
The best ones. I'm not going to need them where I'm going.
Like that he leaves, and then he was like, Agador, go start on dinner. I'm going to go get fucking Albert. I like it when he pulls up to the bus stop, and he just gets out, and he was like, my cemetery's in...
I can't remember the name of it.
Key Biscayne.
Yeah.
He's like, my cemetery's in Key Biscayne. He was like, people do like you. He's like, hell, I like you. He's like, you make people laugh. You make me laugh. And he was like, so now I got to sell my plot in Key Biscayne so I can buy a shit plot right next to yours in Los Capo so you can still make me laugh.
Yep. Which was a good line.
Yeah.
And it was touching. And I think it did the trick because Albert seems to be coming around. He understands the situation. But at the same time, it's like he wanted to be part of this meet and meet and greet, whatever the hell you want to call it. But there was this whole thing, even at the beginning of the movie, where Albert wanted and I can't remember, started with the letter P. I can't remember.
The palimony.
The palimony.
Yeah, a palimony agreement.
And there was even that comment that Armand made. He's like, well, I don't have one on me. I can have it for you by tomorrow. Don't take that tone with me. He's like, what tone?
I do like it when I can't remember, I think it was like the first time that Albert stormed out. He's like, I got the palimony agreement upstairs, and he was like, oh, please. It's like,
but Armand is telling him, he's like, it's the palimony agreement. This is, it's yours.
Yeah.
He's like, what difference does it make if you give me half or I give you half? He's like, it's ours. You own half of my life. I own half of your life.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. And he's trying to get him to understand. It's like, it's nothing against you. It's just Val's new future parents are going to they're just assholes.
Yeah.
She's like, what can you do? But eventually they both go back home, but Al, he's just going to hide while they're there. Because, what else is he going to do? He can't convince him that he's straight. He can't convince him that he's a woman. So, but he's torn.
Yes.
Which is why he comes out dressed as a woman anyway. He's like, I just can't lay here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Val's actual mom is trying to get there, and she's stuck in traffic. And this whole weird thing.
Fucking sailboat.
One sailboat, yes. So she's stuck on the bridge, stuck in traffic. She calls the home saying that she's going to be there in 30 minutes in the middle of the senator's story.
Yeah. Such a horrible story.
Oh my God.
Pennsylvania was nice too, though.
So good. He was asking how the trip down was.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, we decided to drive. He's like, because I like to see the different regions. He's like,
we wanted to see the seasons. We came from up north where it was so cold.
Down south
where it's warm. The seasons in between.
He's like,
we went through Virginia.
It's like Virginia, Kentucky,
Tennessee, Georgia.
He's like, the foliage in Virginia is magnificent. It's like, but the foliage in Utah is also under not Utah.
Pennsylvania
is no, not Pennsylvania.
No. Ohio.
Ohio is also underrated.
Yeah.
He's like, the red leaves, the purple mountains, green fields, and the roads, black, cutting right through the green.
See, it's such horrible. It's horrible.
Like, the trees. Pennsylvania's nice too.
But I do like that. I do like it when he was like, oh, he's like, when Armand is like, oh, I was so enamored with your
caught
story.
Up in the senator's story.
He's like, yeah, I think my wife called, and he was like, Val,
was that your mom? He's talking so loud, and Val's literally standing right next to him.
But I like the way he says it, because he was like, Val, was that mom? What did she say?
It's like, oh, she's running late. She's stuck in traffic. She'll be here in 30 minutes, but she wanted us to start dinner without her.
Yeah.
It's like, I would have picked up, but I was, caught up in the senator's story.
He's like, it wasn't that good.
It really wasn't. It made everybody uncomfortable.
I know. Oh, God, what a great movie.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Oh, the one last thing that I wanted to mention, and it's one of my favorite scenes. When I lived with my old roommate, we used to quote this all the time. There is a scene towards the beginning of the movie where Al's kind of going out doing his little shopping and, going to the different markets and things like that. He sees the guy with the lobster and he's like, not today, Mr. Lopez or whatever. He's like, the piglet's home. But then he goes into it's like a chocolate shop or a bakery.
It is a bakery.
And
because he was getting a cake.
That's right. and he's like, to my little piglet from his auntie.
Yeah.
And then he's got free samples up on the counter, and he's like, oh, chocolate schnecken. And he goes and tries it, and he's like, a triumph. And he's like, thank you so much. And then on his way out the door, he stops himself, and he says, perhaps one more schnecken for the road. He's like, when the schnecken beckons. Oh, my God. It's so freaking good. But, yeah, I mean, I had a feeling this one was going to run a little bit longer than our normal episodes, but I don't know. It just happens.
It does.
We get excited. What can you do? There's no need to get hysterical. But yeah, this is a great one. I'm sorry for the gap in between. I know it's been at least a few weeks since our last episode posted, but hopefully it will be worth the wait for everyone. And we should have a couple more episodes lined up for the next few consecutive weeks. But thanks again, and until next time.
Quotable Podcast out.
Did you just call me an asshole? No, I was talking to the asshole behind you.